Pradeep Mittal and Dr. Yupender Dhul, Professor in UIED Kurukshetra University, please come on the stage and take their seats.
Please, sir.
We are honored to have you both as our session chairs and we look forward to your guidance for the session ahead.
Now, I would like to invite our respected guest of honor, Dr. Rajinder Nam, to please come forward and share his valuable words with us. Please give a huge round of applause.
Professor Rakesh Kumar, Chief Guest of the Year, other dignitaries, Session Chair, colleagues, participants, and dear students. I have chosen the topic AI as next gen intelligence, building the cognitive infrastructure of the future. Topic is not only technological, it will have the vast impact on our day-to-day life. So what is cognitive infrastructure? Sometimes I feel that if I use the word cognitive, it can be synonymous to artificial intelligence. That means how our brain works. So first, if we look at what are our traditional infrastructure that we built so far, like say we built roads, we built buildings, we built communications, we built power grids, etc., etc. In all these infrastructure, there was no artificial intelligence. That means it was not cognitive. We have brain. We understand to some extent how our brain works. Our brain has more than 100 billion of neurons, and brain has cognitive process. How we learn, memorize, how we reason, how we assist the things happening around us. That's the cognitive. In cognitive, our smartphone, we can consider a very good example. The name itself, smart. Earlier, human beings were smart. Now your phone has become smart. If you compare the two things, what's the difference between this mic, which is not smart, and this mobile phone lying here, it is smart? What's the difference? Anything which has two capabilities. One, it can perform some kind of computations. And second, it can make decisions. So your smartphone is making decisions already. When you start surfing on your smartphone, it understands. And it starts knowing what are your interests. And it starts bringing those information to you which are of your interest. So that means this is cognitive infrastructure. So cognitive infrastructure is intelligent. In morning we were sitting in boardroom, now in children's room. Every time the discussion was on artificial intelligence and diverse views were coming. We people are theoretical. Dr. Rajat is practical. So we have strong foundation in theoretical, but practical foundations will be having those people who are working in the industries and are engaged in developing the cognitive infrastructure. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Because there are students also. And AI has been defined from so many perspectives. But one definition I always find relevant to understand what is AI. First, we have to compare in which aspects our machines are better, computers are better, and in which aspect human beings are better. And then we will say, if we make the machine better, in which at the moment machines are better, human beings are better. So machines are better in calculations. We can never defeat any computer in calculations. If I talk of supercomputer, that is doing quintillions. If you understand the figure quintillions, hundreds per 18, that's a very huge number. Kind of calculations in 1 second. Even you have a small calculator, a human being can't defeat the small calculator. And without this speed, the cognitive infrastructure we are talking, the artificial intelligence we are talking, was not possible to implement. So this kind of speed is required. Second, storage. So we have the clouds now. Everyone knows cloud. Everyone is an advanced user of cloud. Where is cloud? We look upward. Everything is stored in cloud. From any individual perspective, storage is unlimited. Physically, it can't be unlimited, but from the perspective of any individual, storage is unlimited. Computational power is unlimited. So clouds are providing you everything, every computation, every periphery of computation as a service at the click of mouse. So storage, our storage, it can be a debatable topic. People or psychologists say whatever you see, whatever you have listened, whatever you have taught, whatever you have read is there into your brain. It goes into your subconscious mind. But how much we can retrieve that can be the different issue. So I'm not depending on that which storage is high, but I feel that the infrastructure we have created, storage is much higher, and we can't compete as human beings. And third is repetitive task. So we see that even if you are programmer, you are doing the repetitive task. In the industry, we are doing the repetitive task. Repetitive tasks could be replaced by robots, and robots are much better in industries. We are developing robots for army also. We are developing robots to teach you. So teaching is also some kind of repetitive task, unless we change the syllabus. So why robot can't do it? So on all these aspects, machines are better than human beings. But in which area human being is better? It is better in intelligence. So as any new technology pouring, human being panics. I am telling you some background to think upon what AI can do in future. When calculators came, people said, kids' mathematics will be lost. I'm not telling whether we have lost it or not. At the end, you have to think yourself. Then internet came, people said, libraries will be dead. Are libraries dead now? Are you people reading hard copy books? Or everything you are studying from your smartphone? And then smartphone came, people said your attention span will be finished. You decide yourself. Whether your attention span has been finished or reduced or going to finish. So technology is impacting, AI technology is impacting in that. Dear students, you need to understand where AI, so many AI models have come up. Where is cloud running? Cloud is not running in the cloud you see in the sky. Clouds are running in data centers. And earlier, the big companies of the world created their data centers. India did not have any data center at that time. And your entire cloud, I said unlimited storage, unlimited computational power, all come from data centers. And the number of data centers list is provided here. You see at top USA, 5,381 approximately. These are approx figures. And second country is Germany, which is 521. See the gap? See the technological gap between USA and other countries. And India is at 14th place with 152 data centers. So we started too late to create data centers, and now India is having its own data centers. Some figure I am giving you. So how do you measure the capacity of a data center? Data center can be small, can be medium, can be large, can be hyperscale. And you need the hyperscale data center. Your entire intelligence is going to reside into data centers, not into here. That means you need to secure your data. So when you save your data in data centers, at least data is stored in triplicates. Triplicate geographical locations. Recently, you might have heard that Iran has attacked AWS data center in Bahrain. So if that kind of thing happens and country lose its data, then country will lose its own power also. Power resides in data now. So data centers are very important for any country to become the developed country. So capacity of data center we measure in two terms. One is how much electricity we consume, that is power, or how much energy we consume. So watt is unit. So like say megawatt, gigawatt, terawatt, petawatt, zettawatt, and so on. So India data center has 1.5 to 1.7 gigawatt by now. And it would rise to 8 to 9 gigawatt hour by 2030, while USA will be having approach 183 terawatt hour data centers. So that's one important aspect. You should focus on developing the data centers for India. India's data should reside in India itself. Data is always critical, so that could be a very good area. So this data center capacity is 30% of the entire world capacity, while we are producing 20% of data of the entire data produced in the world. So Tata and Reliance Industries, they are already developing data centers. This is some historical aspects how cognitive infrastructure development started or AI development started. I am just mentioning some milestones. One milestone happened in 1997. IBM company developed deep blue computer, artificial intelligence, and that was intelligent in one domain only. That computer was intelligent to play the game of chess, and at that time, Gary Kasparov was world champion at that time. And in 1996, match was played. At that time, Gary Kasparov won. It was repeated in 1997. At that time, Deep Blue computer won 2-3 draw and one lost. This was the first defeat of human being by artificial intelligence. In that computer, artificial intelligence was not data driven. That was based upon heuristics. That was based upon brute force searches and evaluation functions. Another milestone in 2011, IBM made Watson is name of computer that was made artificially intelligent. This computer could play the game of quizzes. At that time, these two persons, Ken Jennings and Brett Rutter, were champions of quizzes. And in this, both the champions were defeated by Watson computer. In this computer, there was an NLP, natural language processing. Today, you might not be typing your message. You are speaking. You need not to read the message. that can be put on speaker. Your message can be read by your smartphone. So that's all advancement of NLP, natural language processing. In 2014, Facebook developed a deep face program that was also artificial intelligence. This was about face recognition. Its accuracy rate was 97.3. Human being accuracy was 97.5. Very close to human being accuracy. So this model used deep learning. Deep learning. So today, whatever the AI model you are talking about, they are using the deep learning models. How our brain is performing, brain and neuron. In 1943, artificial neuron was created, perceptron. And now we have made that much to resemble, to work in the way our brain works. Neural networks, we call them. And these are deep learning models. In 2018, another test was conducted, like say in school, you are given a paragraph. In exam also, that kind of questions were there at our time. Now I don't know whether these are there in your exams. There is a text para. At the end, there are 4 or 5 questions. After reading this para, you have to answer the questions. So you have to read, you have to comprehend, and then you have to answer. In that, 2 companies, one was the Microsoft and second was Alibaba. They made artificial intelligence software programs. They can read the paragraph, then they have to answer the quizzes or questions. Answer. Then both the programs defeated human being. Just I'm telling you, these are the milestones. So here in this, that means whatever text you give to the computer, it is not taking it word by word. It understands. It understands in the context. It understands it in the right context appropriately. So that development has occurred in 2018. All this you know, this is the era now. And in 2022, OpenAI developed ChatGPT. And now the latest version of GPT is generative pre-trained transformer. This is deep learning model. We say this is LLM, large language model. So let's have the clarity about LLM. What is the dimension of this room? 3. If I say I have created a 5-dimensional room, are you having some imagination? 100-dimension room, any imagination? So in LLM, the number of parameters considered are more than 100 billion. 100 billion. That is LLM. If it is less than 100 and more than 50, then it is medium language model. And if it is less than 50, then it is small language model. So today whatever the models we are developing are LLMs. See, number of parameters we are considering in billions and trillions. You just give one query to ChatGPT, how much processing it is doing. If that kind of speed is not existing, your ChatGPT can't work. And these LLM models are trained on huge amount of data. So like say, small child is there, and you are training the child, whether you are giving the right training or wrong training, accordingly, child will start behaving. If you are training the model on USA data, that is biased to Indian data. If your data is already biased, the model will be biased. It's not God created. It's human being created. So biasness will be there. That will depend upon what kind of data you are using for training. Now what about India's status in developing AI models? So to develop AI model, we have to have the data centers. Now we have come up with these. We have to have our Indian data on that the AI models will be trained so that they can behave in the context of India, right? So at the T, we were talking that students say hi, hello to professors, but our tradition is not hi, hello, and we people are old compared to you people. We can feel it bad. You may not be feeling bad because ChatGPT always start with you with hi. They are not saying pranam. They are not saying chansapars. So if AI models will be trained with Indian data, then perhaps that kind of thing would happen. So Sarvam AI, Bengaluru-based AI startup that has developed some LLM models and medium language models. Bharat GPT developed by AI. It supports more than 120 Indian languages and other languages. And one government program is also there that is using 17 billion, that means it is small language model. So we have started in this AI models competition is going on. We can't compete with USA. China always try to close the gap, but yet in last year USA developed 40 AI models while China developed 24 only. One report that impacted entire world. I'm just mentioning. I'm not creating fear among you. If fear is created, not bad. Take the fear in good sense. Citini Research is USA company, and that published the report in Feb 2026. And this is not prediction. Report itself has mentioned that these are not predictions, this is a scenario. And title of the report is the 2028 Global Intelligence Crisis. You can search it on internet or you can ask your ChatGPT. It will give the summary of that report to you. I'm just mentioning few points of that report. The report is very lengthy. Report says that jobs layoff will happen, and that will be messy. And in recently, Oracle has laid off 30,000 jobs. In that 12,000 are Indians. Many companies are restructuring their job roles. New kind of job roles will come, old kind of job roles will vanish. When you are given a program list, perhaps you might be asking to the ChatGPT, write so and so program in Python language. It writes perfectly. Then why would you be required to write that kind of programs? You give your whole requirement to AI model to create a website. It will create the website for you. Then why any companies would keep you to design and develop that kind of website? Later on, I will mention what should you do in this regard. So, intelligence potential spiral will be there. Company is there that is using AI model, cutting size of human power, money is saved. That money will be put into AI models. This will become new. So people say white collar job will be not affected. जो कंप्यूटर के सामने बैठकर काम करते हैं उनकी जॉब सबसे ज्यादा अफेक्ट है। अभी मैं नहीं कह रहा these are not predictions, this is scenario। और जैसे बिगनिंग में मैंने कहा कि whenever new technology comes, this has been said। आप अपने को सोचिए चीज हो रही है कि नहीं हो रही। इसका आंसर भी वहीं से ढूंढना। I will not conclude on it। ग्रोथ जीडीपी कागजों पर ऐसे लगेगा कि हमारी जीडीपी बहुत बढ़िया है, एक्चुअल में नहीं है। In white collars, jobs are made of in crores। वो लोग क्या करेंगे? वो लोग इस जीडीपी का कितना हिस्सा है? वो कारें खरीदते हैं, घर खरीदते हैं, एसी में रहते हैं। And income will fall down, so these facility will be reduced। जैसे पेट्रोल और डीजल और गैस आज पूरे वर्ल्ड को कैसे अफेक्ट कर रहे हैं, ऐसे ही व्हाइट कॉलर जॉब को हटा देना पूरा वर्ल्ड उसी तरह से अफेक्ट होगा। नॉट ओनली। तो जैसे ही ये रिपोर्ट आई, यूएसए के 20 से 30% आईटी कंपनी के शेयर जैसे रिपोर्ट डाउन हो गए। इंडिया के 15 से 20% आईटी शेयर डाउन हो गए। इसका मतलब आईटी कंपनीज आर बिलीविंग इन दैट रिपोर्ट। ओपन एआई के सीईओ सैम अल्टमैन ने कहा, वर्ल्ड इंटेलेक्चुअल कैपेसिटी could reside inside data centers। I mentioned this earlier also। And Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon ने कहा 30 crore job may be affected in near future। And in India there are 54 lakhs employees in IT sector and they are contributing 7% of GDP। So India may not be adversely affected, it may happen because Indians are doing other than white collar jobs। Now I come to the point that AI will affect, but AI cannot affect। So 2-3 parameters I will mention। One is judgment। AI can generate hundreds and thousands of answers in 1 second, but AI cannot tell which answer is right for these people, for this moment, under this situation. Here what we got? Judgment report. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. He joined Microsoft. Was at that time company nine. Did Satya Nadella invented some new operating system like Windows? No. What he did? He did one key decision. Shift from know it all to learn it all. And that made the whole difference. Can you pay your leaders for information today? Any leader, at any stage. Information production is so cheap and so good. You can pay your leaders to make judgments. Second is emotional intelligence. I watched T20 World Cup and Abhishek Sharma was not performing well. How AI made decision based upon data, based upon past. What if you ask AI, it will search out the data and give the decision, replace the player. But the captain did not replace, selector did not replace, and in final he did win. This is emotional intelligence. I visited Canada first time. There is a Starbucks outlet for coffee. Everyone is talking of Starbucks. Now, anyone can copy Starbucks. Anyone can copy everything. Whatever the coffee powder he used, whatever machine he used, whatever. But what the customer feels when he goes into Starbucks, can that be copied? So your AI can detect emotions. आप अब दुखी हैं, अब आप खुश हैं, अब आप नाराज हैं, can detect. We have feel emotions in our robots, but AI cannot feel emotions. And third is creativity. जैसे मैंने कहा कि कैलकुलेटर आएंगे तो मैथमेटिकल स्किल आपकी गायब हो जाएगी, तो ये गायब टेक्नोलॉजी के ज्यादा यूसेज से हो रही होंगी. Now creativity. Let's take the example of Elon Musk. Space programs is a playground of government. Elon Musk से पहले किसी भी प्राइवेट कंपनी ने स्पेस प्रोग्राम में एंटर किया, but he had the strong imagination and SpaceX program he started and now successful. रॉकेट हमेशा ही नीचे छोड़ते हैं, ऊपर चले जाते हैं. आप AI मॉडल से पूछिए कि क्या ये जो स्पेस में छोड़ा वापिस आकर के उसी हैंगर में लग जाएगा? It's a strong imagination. और लग गया. These are the things you people have to do. Everything will be done by AI models, but your job will be required to supervise AI models. AI model has designed and developed your website, but you have to look where are the weaknesses in this design. So that kind of skills would be required in future. Perhaps program development, programming skills, no. One skill we were talking of DevOps. We have to deploy the application. Our programs are so complex. Manual deployment is impossible today. Earlier we used to install Linux operating system, so many parameters that we normally we were doing. But now everything is being done automatically. If any updates to your operating system in smartphone comes, that is installed automatically. Even it says today's night your operating system will be updated, and it is done automatically. So all updates, all application deployments have to be automatically, but there has to be one DevOps person to look into that. So okay, let's conclude now. So out of this scenario talk, you can envisage what kind of future you are going to live. So things would be human being and machines together will be one. Whatever AI models can do, you have to be better than them. You have to be better in judgment, you have to be better in creativity, you have to be better in emotional intelligence, and you have to be better in character, you have to be better in adaptability. So with these words, I conclude. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring and valuable words. Your guidance and encouragement means a lot to all of us. Now I request the session chair to kindly give their concluding remarks. Please, sir.
If somebody wants to ask any question, stage is open to our questions. We have some questions you can ask.
If anyone has any question, they can ask.
Good afternoon, sir. I have a question regarding artificial intelligence versus human. How is machine learning in artificial intelligence is different from
आगे आ जाओ बेटा थोड़ा आगे आ जाओ.
I have a question, and my question is regarding artificial intelligence versus human being.
Speak, ask question.
Yes, sir.
Question क्या है? Versus तो मैंने बहुत बोला ना. What's your specific question?
How does machine learning in artificial intelligence is different from human learning through experience and reasoning?
Okay. So one thing is, first thing we need to know how do we research, right? So we learn lot of things from the nature. Like say, birds fly, we thought to fly, and now we are flying. Hello. I can quote so many examples that we have taken from the nature and have implemented algorithms in computers, right? Then we are learning how we learn. Our learning process is very complex. But some steps out of our research on brain working, we have learned. like say, whatever, like say, if I narrate ABCD, are you learning? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
No? You
Yes.
already know ABCD. When I say ABCD, you are already knowing ABCD, you are not learning. So when new information is presented, then our brain takes that, related to already stored information, and then use it in future. So that kind of how our neuron works. I talked of artificial neuron. So we mimic the working of biological neuron. One biological neuron is creating connections with millions of other biological neurons. So in that way, we mimic our biological neuron and artificial neuron. So working is not exactly copied, but idea we have taken from there. And in that way, machine learning has similarity to human being learning.
Thank you, sir.
Any other query, please?
Good afternoon, sir. My question is, who should be responsible when an AI system make a wrong?
Yes. This is very important question. I tell you, so far, accountability system is not there. I quote a few of them. Anthropic, USA company which is developing AI model. Information may be right, may be wrong because it is reported in newspaper. The USA government asked Anthropic company CEO, all weapons today, precision spikes are there. So you should think of that AI is working there. Now, he said that develop the weapons which can take the decision on their own where to hit. So far we are giving the target, you have to hit there. But the companies you said, no, I will not agree to it. Who will be accountable if wrong target is hit? One. Second, robotic surgeries are done. That means that robot is artificial intelligence. If robot does wrong surgery, is there any accountability? No. Doctor is supervising, accountable is doctor. So this is very relevant question that if we are giving the full control to AI, it is very much possible. You fire the missile and missile will find out the vicious target and hit on its own. But then who will be responsible? So far we are holding back AI, but how long we can hold it back, I don't know. So question is very good. So far there is no legal responsibility if AI does wrong. Thank you. Any more query? So I think thank you so much.
Hello, sir. How can I follow human value if if women do not agree on them? सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जब इंसान जो है अपने डिसीजन पे सहमत नहीं है सर एआई को से कैसे फॉलो करवाया जाए?
Can anybody clarify the question to me?
कोमल मैडम बताइए क्या कह रहा है बच्चा, क्या कहना चाह रहा है? हिंदी में बता दो।
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि यदि वुमेन इंसान जो है अपने डिसीजन पे सहमत नहीं है तो फिर वो एआई उस पे सहमत कैसे उसको कराया जाए, मतलब एआई जो है उस पे हर एक आदमी का डिसीजन कैसे बना सकता है?
ओके, देखिए, जब तक हम एआई को कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं, ये टाइम आ सकता है कि फिर एआई हमें कंट्रोल करे। इसका मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ। एक बार एक एक्सपेरिमेंट किया गया था स्विट्जरलैंड की बाउंड्री पे, उन्हें 27 किलोमीटर टनल और बिग बैंग थ्योरी को प्रूव करना चाहते थे साइंटिस्ट। तो वहां पर फ्लो हाई स्पीड प्रोटॉन वहां पर फ्लो करके और वो हिट करके और बिग बैंग थ्योरी को क्रिएट करना। उस एक्सपेरिमेंट के होने से पहले साइंटिस्ट के दिमाग में ये चीजें आनी शुरू हो गई थी कि अगर रियल में बिग बैंग हो गया तो फिर तो पूरा यूनिवर्स है वो खत्म हो जाएगा, राइट? बट ऐसा हुआ कि वो एक्सपेरिमेंट भी बीच में बंद हो गया। तो अब हम एआई को इंटेलिजेंट कर रहे हैं। मैंने काफी सारे एग्जांपल आपको दिए कि इन मामलों में एआई ह्यूमन बीइंग को डिफीट कर गया, राइट? तो अब एक और टर्म जो ज्यादा पॉपुलर आज हो रखी है उसको हम कहते हैं एजीएम, आर्टिफिशियल जनरल इंटेलिजेंस। मैंने जितने एग्जांपल दिए वो एक पर्टिकुलर डोमेन या एरिया में इंटेलिजेंट है, सभी एरिया में इंटेलिजेंट नहीं है। Gary Kasparov was intelligent in all areas, but deep blue computer was intelligent in chess only. अब हम वो एआई के मॉडल बना रहे हैं जो सभी एरिया में इंटेलिजेंट हो। तो क्या आप पोएम लिख लेते हैं? नहीं लिख सकते। आप चैट जीपीटी को कहिए आपके मन की पोएम लिख के दे और लिख देगा। अरे बेटे मैं पॉइंट, बट जो पोएट है, जो पोएम लिखता है उस लेवल की नहीं होगी। वहां पर वो लाभ के 3 फैक्टर जो मैंने बताए हैं, दैट विल वर्क। Are you getting my point? So, have you got answer of your question? आंसर आपको मिला या क्वेश्चन अनआंसर्ड रह गया है?
नो सर, मेरा इंसान यदि अपने बात से सहमत नहीं है तो उसको सहमत कैसे कराया जा सकता है? हर एक इंसान के
जिन जिन चीजों में इंसान सामर्थ्य नहीं है और एआई मॉडल सामर्थ्य है तो उन इंसान के लिए एआई मॉडल काम कर रहे हैं। ओके, सेशन चेयर ने मेरे को क्वेश्चन दोबारा से रीडिफाइन करके दिया है कि अलग अलग लोग क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं और आंसर से नहीं कर रहा है, ठीक है? तो अलग अलग लोग क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, आंसर से नहीं करता है, नहीं करता है। ये तो एक्सपेरिमेंट आप लोग आज ही करके देख सकते हैं। इतने सारे बैठे हैं, अलग अलग क्वेश्चन पूछे और आंसर सेम आया या हर एक का डिफरेंट आया, ठीक है? मान लो आंसर सेम कर रहा है तो फिर आप ये कह रहे हैं कि वो सभी उस आंसर पर एग्री क्यों करें? एग्री क्यों करें या न करें, वो तो ह्यूमन बीइंग इंटेलिजेंस काम करेगी कि उसको सोच क्या रहा है। आज के दिन एआई मॉडल में क्या है, प्रॉम्प्टिंग का ये एक बड़ा वो चल रहा है कि आप जो एआई मॉडल से क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं उसका प्रॉम्प्ट आप कितना बढ़िया देंगे उससे आपका उतना ही क्लोज आंसर आपको मिलेगा। तो एक प्रॉम्प्टिंग का फील्ड चल रहा है। आपका आंसर क्वेश्चन आपने क्या पूछा, प्रॉम्प्ट क्या दिया ये मॉडल को, आंसर भी वैसा ही मिलेगा। बेटर प्रॉम्प्ट देंगे बेटर आंसर, और बेटर प्रॉम्प्ट देंगे बेटर आंसर। सो आई थिंक दैट वाज योर क्वेश्चन। ओके,
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
I would like to summarize this session. It was very informative session by Dr. Rajendranath, and he has an art to explain a very technically complex topic in a very simple way, and that's what he has done today. So, summary of this session is, Sir started with explaining what is cognitive infrastructure and how it is different from traditional infrastructure. Then he illustrated AI as next generation technologies and some of the models with historical models, how AI worked over a period of time was illustrated. Then importance of data centers, it was highlighted, and what is the status of India right now, and where we are going to be after 10 years, that was illustrated. Then some of the Indian AI models which we have developed recently, and where they stand in comparison to US models, international models, that was explained. And then in the end, he has given us an overview about Citizen report. Citizen report about global intelligence scenario in 2028. In the last, he has concluded why AI still can't replace some of the human qualities like judgment, emotional intelligence, and creativity. Thank you, sir, for such an informative session, and thank you, organizers, for inviting me.
Now, I request our respected Group Director, Sir, Dr. Ashwini Kumar Dhindra, please come on the stage and present a token of appreciation to our guest of honor, Dr. Rajinder Nath. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Lakshya Agarwal and HOD of Computer Science and Engineering Department, Ms. Komal Ahuja, please come on the stage and present a token of appreciation. Our respected session chair, Dr. Pradeep Mittal and Dr. Yubendra Dhru.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now I request Dr. Ajay Jhangra and Dr. Sanjay Kajal, professors in UIET Kurukshetra University, please join us on the stage and take their seats.
Please give a huge round of applause.
We are honored to have you both as our session chair, and we look forward to your guidance and session ahead.
Now I would like to invite our respected guest of honor, Mr. Rajinder, to please come forward and share his valuable words with us. Please give a huge round of applause.
धर्मेंद्र वो ठीक कर देना।
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me fine? Can you hear me now? So my topic for today's discussion is artificial intelligence and its impact on software as a service businesses. This will be the agenda for the presentation. I'll be doing some introduction, then talking about what is artificial intelligence, how you are using AI, where you might not know about the AI already, rise of AI-driven software as a services companies, POC versus real product, what would go wrong when you are using POCs like that, demo and key takeaways. So my name is Rajat Jindal. I'm the founder, director, and senior software consultant at Computer Technosolutions. I have about 20 years of IT experience, where I graduated in 2006 from GJU Nisar, and I started my career with Verizon Telecom in Hyderabad, and then I moved to US for a couple of years. Came back from US in 2018, and since then I have been doing consulting with multiple startups based in US, Europe, and Australia. This is my Twitter account and my GitHub account. In my 20 years of experience, I have seen multiple new technologies come up, but AI is very different, and we will talk about some of those things here. So very briefly, so we have been talking about what is artificial intelligence since morning, so I will not touch a lot of details in there. So what is artificial intelligence in a nutshell is when machines are trained to think, learn, and make decisions just like humans, but they are much, much faster, scalable, and always on. Like computer, you can keep running 24/7. A human, you cannot. So human has to sleep, they have to take rest, but machines you can keep running 24/7. Are you as a person, a common man or common lady, are you using AI already or not? So these are some of the areas where you are already using AI. Navigation. When you ask Google Maps to put up the navigation to Delhi or somewhere else, or find a place, artificial intelligence already comes into the picture and find the optimal route for you. Like it will tell you if you go via Karnal, it will take that much time. If you go via Saharanpur, it will take that much time. All those decisions, artificial intelligence is making behind the scenes, which is running on the server somewhere. Voice assistants. When you talk to Siri and you ask it to make a phone call for you, it basically tries to identify who is talking to Siri right now. If he is the authorized person, then it takes actions on your phone and make the phone call for you. Already artificial intelligence is coming to the picture. When you watch shows on Netflix, personalized recommendations come based on your watch history. That is all AI based. When you do shopping on Amazon based on your past search results, it makes you recommendations. Artificial intelligence comes into picture there as well. When you use face unlock, camera unlock on your phone, on your smartphone, it is doing a lot of calculations to identify that you are the right person who is authorized to unlock this phone, as well as it's a active face, not a photograph which is trying to unlock the phone. So that comes into picture there as well. And of course, ChatGPT, like sir mentioned, if you are using, almost everyone is using ChatGPT today, whether in college projects or asking a question in general. And it rightly being said, AI is not the future. It's already present in the present. It's being used by everyone. It is just invisible, and it is going to get more invisible in future, but it's still going to be used and very relevant. So I mentioned my talk topic is how it is impacting software as a services businesses. So what is software as a service business first of all? It's a subscription based model where you
buy a cloud subscription and then you can use that service. For example, Gmail is one of them, which is free by the way, but still you can buy Gmail services as well. You can buy services from Zoom for the meetings. You can buy Salesforce for CRM management and stuff like this. These are mostly subscription based and cloud based, and you do not have to install a lot of computing power on your hardware. Everything is running on the servers. So you basically don't install it, you just use it. Now, why is AI a game changer for software as a service? Like sir was mentioning, data is the new oil. Like how the oil was priced and was adding value for everyone, data is adding the value today. This is why one of the things that has been happening is data sovereignty, that you want to keep your data in your own country rather than having it placed in US or Europe, because they control the data, your data in that case, which we don't want. So explosion of data, huge amount of data is being collected every day. Like when you upload your pictures, why is Google offering you 15 GB of space? They are collecting the data from you. They are basically training the models based on that data and making decisions and making their products better using your data. And then sharing that data with their partners as well. And then there is a huge demand of automation that can be done on top of that data, creating business report, business intelligence report, like what should we be doing 6 months down the line. They have to start making their decisions today, and that they can do based on the data that they are collecting from your system, from your softwares, from your smartphones, everywhere. And how you are acting upon that data brings the competitive differentiation. Like between company one and company two, a huge differentiation would be how they are using the data to make smart decisions about their business models and about their future growth plans. And the mindset is now shifting from thinking of these tools as tools. They are becoming personal assistants. Like you have conversations with these assistants. For example, ChatGPT. You have your conversation with ChatGPT saying, "Hey, I want to ask you this question. What is the answer for this question?" And ChatGPT gives you the answer. Now the same model is shifting to the softwares, where you talk to your software. Before, what happens is when you have a feature request, someone will go and open a feature request to the software as a service company. They will say, "Hey, sir, this will take 6 months to implement or 3 months to implement," and then they will implement that. It could be a reporting feature, it could be a new feature that they want to build. But now what is happening is AI is integrating right there in your softwares, where you can ask questions directly to AI. AI will go to the server and using the models which are running, which are by the way not running on your machine or on the servers. In some cases, it is running on a completely different machine, and they basically send some contextual data to that server where GPUs are running and models are there, and you basically make decisions based on that context and the data that the services are providing to the GPUs, which are making the decisions for you. Software, like I said, software is no longer just being used. It is basically more about collaboration. You basically collaborate with your software. You ask questions, make smart decisions and intelligent decisions about your software and the data. Why we are seeing such a big rise of AI-driven software as a services? In last 6 months or so, a lot of coding models have been introduced by companies like OpenAI and Anthropic. Cloud basically changed how we think about coding using AI. You could just tell it, "Hey, make me this software for me, which should have this feature," and it will do and go back and implement a fully functional product for you. For example, just 2 weeks back, I asked Cloud, "Hey, can you create a bug reporter for me that I can embed in my web app?" And then users of my web app should just be able to click on the button and it will do the screenshots, it will do the request recording, it will do the network request capturing and send all that metadata to me on the server so that I know what issue was reported or being faced by my users, rather than they trying to explain to me each and every step they were performing on the web app to report the issue. It basically reduces the friction that your apps have and the users have by quite a considerable amount. And then hosting providers such as Versal and exe.dev, they are just two examples. There are so many other companies which are providing the infrastructure to build and deploy AI tools very easily, very frequently, and very easily. And I will show you some one example for that. So this is one of the quote I took from one of the Discord channel of one such tool, which is exe.dev. It's basically a tool where you have a website, you go log in there, and you get a chat from them. And then you say, hey, I want to build this tool. And then AI will build that tool for you. It will build a really nice looking tool which will look like a professional build tool. It will deploy it automatically. It will secure it automatically. A lot of things like we were talking about how to do the deploys on day 2. These kind of tools makes it very easy, and the friction of and the friction that you had by entering the software development thing has gone really down. And you can see that this person, this specific person, he was I was watching this person. He was shipping apps every 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. He will think, hey, I created a new app. I created a new app. And he actually taught that to his dad, who was not technical, by the way. And his dad started creating the apps as well, and that was really amazing to see in the real time. This is another example. So there is this person goes by the handle levels.io on Twitter. He's, by the way, he has like, I don't know, hundreds of small projects that he has built, which is making millions of dollars every month. Just inspirational work. He basically got an idea at 4:19 a.m. that hey, I should do and build this stuff. By 5:33, he actually launched that new product, which was live and working and making revenue for this person. So that kind of innovation is happening in the AI space, which is not hypothetical anymore. It is like really happening in the real world out there. This is, I don't know if you can read this, but this idea is from the same person that I was talking about. He literally built a website, which is ideasai.com. If you go to this website, it will tell you a whole bunch of ideas for AI startups. And then, because of this website was live, by the way, from last few months. But in last 3 or 4 months, the AI coding has gotten so much better. He actually went back and introduced the build it button on top of it. So you not only see the idea, you can literally click on it and it will build that startup for you from scratch. Like literally there, right there. And if you pay him some money, then that idea you can basically buy that idea. So that's how the business transactions are happening right now. Like you can literally build the websites by click of a button. Okay, so building all these ideas like this is amazing, but it's slightly different from how it works on scale. It is really amazing to see these kind of ideas coming into the play when you have 10 users, 50 users, or 100 users. But when it comes to scale, when you have billions of users like Gmail, then it becomes a problem at all. So proof of concept, POC, that's what we call it, is exactly that. It's a proof. It's a proof that this concept works. You can have this kind of application which can perform, which can work, it can do this, it can do that. Sure. But it works, but it is not stable. It is not stable in the sense when it starts to scale, it will start to fail over because of the infrastructure issues, memory issues, the compute that it needs to run, and it is not production ready. Have you done all the security scanning on the softwares? Have you done all the security scanning of the codes? Are you sure it is not leaking credentials and data? And it has happened in the past. Like just 2 weeks back, a cloud computing company had a bug which was pushed to production, where one user was able to see the data from the second person. And because that issue was happening at infrastructure level, any company which was using their product, their platform, run into the same issue because of the caching policy that will be followed. So AI makes building easy, but day-to operations are still hard. How do you manage? How do you deploy it? Hallucinations still happen. AI just make up things by itself, and that still happens. And those are very subtle. It's very hard to catch those bugs when running in production. So, like someone was asking, who is responsible if AI makes a mistake? Right now, we do not have any defined criteria of who owns that mistake. So AI can write code, but it cannot own responsibility, at least right now. There is no defined framework for defining who is responsible for mistakes made by AI. What could go wrong? So hallucination is very common problem with AI, where AI starts to hallucinate things by itself. It starts to give you more data than you asked for, and that data may or may not be relevant to the question that you asked. And those hallucinations sometimes can result in prompt poisoning, where when you get the data from the AI model, and then you try to manipulate the personality of that AI model, it can change the answers, and it can sometimes result in AI models providing you the information that you are not supposed to receive. So it has to be very, you have to be very careful when using AI for things like that. Security risk, I was mentioning, when you push the data to production, it becomes your responsibility to secure that data. AI, it tries its best, but sometimes it is just not possible and it makes mistakes. Like I was mentioning about the cash poisoning issue that happened a few weeks back, and it was really embarrassing for the company who did that, because what happened was one user was able to see the healthcare data for the second user, and they started complaining, hey, why I am seeing the data for a person I don't know anything about. And that's when this issue came up, and that's how they were able to find the issue. And apparently that those changes which resulted in this issue were pushed and made using AI. So AI coding is good, but we have to review everything very carefully. AI demos, like I said, by all these things, AI demos is not equal to production systems. It is very good starting point, but to ship a real product, it takes much more than that. Another thing which happened few months back is that, and I would say this mistake would have happened by a human also, but in this case, someone was interacting with their production systems using AI, and AI agent made a mistake and did a removal of a directory which had their data for last 2.5 years. And in this case, I believe they didn't even have the backup. So there are some engineering practices that they were not following, but eventually AI made a mistake which cost them their data for last 2.5 years. So things can go south very quickly when you are using AI. So, I actually built a small demo using AI. If you want to scan this code, what will happen is it will launch. It will show you basically a web page where scan this QR code will every time give you a new startup that was launched using AI in last few months. And this was the prompt. If you can read it, this is the prompt I gave it. The first prompt, I was able to get a complete working application and to it which was working and deployed on some server. Second and third were just refining the results a little bit, but just by using the first prompt there, I was able to get a full functional method. Let me try to see if I can show you that website. So this is the QR code. If you scan it, if someone wants to scan it, sure, feel free. It will take you to the random website, and the counter there will be implemented automatically. This is a boring demo, by the way. Another demo I built was roast me live. So if you scan this, you can roast me basically. You can say this presentation is really bad, and it will show up live on that. So let me see if I can scan one and see if I can roast myself. If it works. Live demos generally does not work ever. Someone roasted me actually. I don't know who. More people are roasting. If I click on the roast, it will start roasting. Those roasts will start showing up on the URL here automatically. So, like the purpose to show this demo is that this is just a web app that I built within 5 minutes using a tool called exe.dev. And what I did here was, let me see if I can show you. Alright, so this is the prompt I gave it. I want to build an app to roast me live while I'm in the presentation on the stage. It should present two frame screen. The left will show us QR code, on the right should show the roast that are being received. The roast should be a combination of colorful icon and a message. Both the icons and message should be picked from a random list that we should create. So AI is creating that for me. the messages should be witty, funny, but not abusive. So you have to be careful when you are talking to AI because it can add all kind of messages to the data. User should not be able to enter a custom message. We don't want abusive message to start showing here because students are students. And then user should be able to click a button which should just click on any post and it will start showing over here. So how it came up was like something like this. This was the presentation. This was the bullet bill, and see, you can see already see there is a bug. I cannot scroll anymore here. So I'll skip that part. But this is the page where you can go and click on roast, and when once you roast, it will automatically select a colorful icon, a random message, and send that message to the app which is running on the server. And all this was developed within 5 minutes using just this prompt that I showed you. So what are the key takeaways from this presentation? So AI is here to stay for sure. Like AI is not going anywhere. AI tools will only get smarter from now on because AI is being used to build more AI. It is going to get smarter and smarter. There will be a whole bunch of new software as a service companies which will emerge rapidly. Like in last 3 weeks, I have built 3 products which are being used by multiple teams using AI. Many traditional software as a service products will disappear. Like whoever is the traditional software and not catching up with the AI era, they will basically get shut down at some stage. And your success depends on how effectively you are using AI. And one of the questions that someone asked, like, how is AI going to impact us in future? So I think at least for the near foreseeable future, AI will not replace you in your jobs, for example, or for your companies. But someone who is using AI more efficiently, they might be able to replace you. So your colleague, if they are using AI more efficiently, they will be able to replace you. AI directly will not be replacing you anytime. So like in your future, sure. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring and valuable words. Your guidance and encouragement means a lot to all of us. Now I request the session chair to kindly give their concluding remarks. If anyone has any query, they may ask. Yeah, please. Sir.
माइक दे दो बेटा
माइक को रख दे दें सर
माइक आगे आ जाओ बेटा आगे आके करो
Good afternoon, sir. My question is, how to manage the data privacy in SaaS?
how to manage the data
Data privacy in SaaS. So yeah, data privacy is very critical because you don't want to leak data. So generally there are principles which are defined on how you should be storing your data. One is some countries are very strict about it, some countries are not. Like for example, Europe is very strict about where the data is stored. They do not want the data to be stored outside of Europe. That's one. Second is encryption. So you basically store the data in encrypted format. You store the data only that you need. Like for example, if you don't need credit card information from a user, don't store it in your database because eventually at some point it can get leaked. So you have to be careful of what data you are storing and how you are storing it. Encryption is one of them. Like you have to make sure that the data, when it is stored in the database, it is in encrypted form. One prime example is username and password. So when you see a login form and you try to enter your username and password, generally you would see that when the credentials does not match, it will give an error message saying username and password does not match. It will never say username is correct but password does not match because it does not want to give hints about that the username exists in our database or not. Similarly, when you try to reset your password, it will say if that email exists in our database, you will receive a reset email, but otherwise not. Traditionally, how companies have stored the data is in plain text form in past times, and that was okay. But now, with the evolvement of the internet and how the hackers and black hat hackers specifically are trying to get hold of the data, every data should be stored in encrypted form. For example, username and password, like I mentioned, passwords are never stored in plain text form anymore. They are hashed using a strong encryption algorithm and a per tenant key which is known as salt in that case. So over tenant is salt and then hashing key, and then a hash is stored in the database, not the pass, not the exact password. And then when user logs in, the same algorithm is used to regenerate the hash and then match it with the generated with the stored hash to match that the username password was supplied correctly or not. So basically, yes, that's how you basically protect the data by storing it in encrypted form where possible and storing as less possible data as possible, which is required for your business. Otherwise, don't store it.
From your industry experience, I would like to ask, what could potentially replace SaaS as the dominant software delivery model?
Agents. So that is already happening. Just day before yesterday, I think Cloud, or maybe just it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday that Cloud announced that they are starting to have something called as Cloud Agents, which where the agents will be managed in the cloud by cloud. And Akamai shares fell down by 15%, Google's share fell down by 11%. So industry is reacting to all those things. ChatGPT has started this. ChatGPT, there are multiple startups who are basically coming up with cloud agents who are disrupting the software as a service models. How they will evolve, we will see, because again, AI has its own quirks when it is used. But yes, agents are going to replace software as a service models very soon.
Sir, as we all know, AI can use a lot of water. Approximately 1 bottle of water is required for asking one question from AI. So how to resolve this? And people are asking more silly questions from AI.
That's a topic which I have thought about earlier. Like I mentioned, I made a demo, but I showed that demo here. It consumes some tokens, it consumes some power, but after this demo, I don't think I'm going to look at that code anytime soon. But it meant that somewhere, some compute machine was running my request, it was generating the software, it is running somewhere, all that power is getting wasted. So I think as an industry, we have to come up with an answer to say, these white coded apps, how to make them meaningful or don't do that. Like I think I have seen people talking about, hey, we should be using green fuel, we should not be using petrol and diesel because it affects environment, and then they will be building AI products all day long, which are not going to be used by anyone. So yeah, I think this is still an evolving stage. People will learn from it, and then they will it will basically evolve and depends on how industry grows there. But yes, that's a very good question.
Any query?
Okay, thank you, folks.
Thank you so much, sir. As sir explained, AI is no longer just a concept of science fiction. Now I request the session chair to kindly give their concluding remarks. Please, sir.
सभी को नमस्कार. It's a really wonderful session. That AI work as a software, provide software as services. Informative तब ज़्यादा हुआ जब आप लोगों ने क्वेरी की. तो अभी बड़ा इस हाल में तीन तरह की जनरेशन है. एक जो मेरे गुरुजी हैं जिन्होंने मुझे पढ़ाया है, राकेश सर, इंद्रनाथ सर, डीडी सर. एक हुआ जिनको हम पढ़ा रहे हैं. सॉफ्टवेयर जो हम सीखते थे शुरू में, फोरट्रान, पास्कल, गूगल, लिस्ट, इन प्रोग्रामिंग में सिंटैक्स और सिमेंटिक्स से बड़ा ध्यान रखते थे हम लोग. डांट भी खाते थे, हम कभी गलती करते थे तो. अब एआई में वो चीज मिसिंग है. अब ये वही है कि जैसे स्विगी कर दिया, भूख लगी तो खाना आ गया. वो खाना ला तो देगा, खाना बनता कैसे कभी नहीं बताएगा, टेस्ट कैसे बनता कभी नहीं बताएगा. यही सेम एआई के साथ भी है. हमको जब सिखा रहे थे तो करेक्टनेस था. अभी सॉफ्टवेयर तो है, रेडी टू डिलीवर है, क्विक सर्विस है, लाइव डेमो हमने देख लिया. ये चेक करना बहुत जरूरी है. आई एम मेकिंग ए राइट प्रोडक्ट और आई एम मेकिंग ए प्रोडक्ट राइट. ये वैलिडेशन कहां से मिलेगी? ये हमको मिलेगी हमारे गुरुओं से, जिनसे हमने सीखा है. एआई का मतलब ये नहीं है कि मुझे सब कुछ आ गया। अभी उसने मुझे ने बोला कि कार्य करते हैं लोग, एक बोतल पेप्सी भेज दो या पानी भेज दो, एआई उसका भी रिप्लाई कर रहा है। इट्स जस्ट अ टूल ओनली, वेपन टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स। सही दिशा में करेंगे तो एआई बहुत अच्छा रहेगा, अगर सही जगह पे लेके जाएंगे तो सही है। लेकिन एआई कभी भी ह्यूमन स्किल को, ह्यूमन ब्रेन को रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता। ये आर्टिफिशियल है, आर्टिफिशियल ही रहेगा। एफिशिएंट हो सकता है, एक्यूरेट तो ह्यूमन माइंड ही रहेगा। सबने बताया था लेक्चर में अपने, इसमें ह्यूमन इमोशंस नहीं है, जो मोरल वैल्यू है वो नहीं है। अब अगर कोई एआई कोई कंट्री डेवलप करता है, उसका रिप्लाई उसी कंट्री के सिंटैक्स में आता है, जैसे वहां का सेंसिटिविटी, जैसे वहां का सेंस है। जो वैल्यूज इंडिया की है, अगर हम उसको इंडिया में से बनाएंगे, जिन्हें करेंगे, हमारे सब उसमें रहेगा तो हमारे लिए ज्यादा कोई रहेगा। तो ये समस्या चलती रहेगी और आगे बढ़ने के लिए बहुत अच्छा टूल है। मैं बधाई देता हूँ ग्रिम्ट को कि इतना अच्छा कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑर्गेनाइज की, अच्छे अच्छे स्पीकर आपने बुलाए, हमको सुनने का मौका मिला, बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बधाई आपको।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now I request our respected session chairs, Dr. Ajay Jhangra and Dr. Sanjay Kajal, to present a token of appreciation, our respected guest of honor, Dr. Rajit Jindal. Please. I request our group director, sir, Lakshya Agarwal and head of the civil engineer, Vikas Garg, to present a token of appreciation, our session chair, Dr. Ajay Jhangra and Dr. Sanjay Kajal.
आ रही है ना, वो दोबारा ले लो।
ठीक आ जाएगा, एआई ये ठीक कर लेगा उससे।
Please give a huge round of applause.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now I request Dr. Puneet Bansal and Dr. Sunil Dhingra, TPO, professors from UIET Kurukshetra, please join us on the stage and take their seats.
Please, sir.
We are honored to have you both as our session chairs and we look forward to your guidance for the session ahead.
Now I would like to invite our respected chief guest, Dr. Rakesh Kumar, to please come forward and share a valuable word with us.
प्रेजेंटेशन है ना मैडम?
Thank you. First of all, I'm really feeling honored that I have been given this opportunity. And a lot of things have been already discussed about the artificial intelligence. But right now, I'm going to touch the topic whether this is a disruption or this is an automation or this is an augmentation. Because if we will be understanding this difference, then we will be able to remove a lot of fear about the artificial intelligence. Next slide, please. So the first slide is about the Alan Turing, and this is only one slide that I'm going to discuss about the introduction of AI. I think what we are having right now about the artificial intelligence, the credit goes to this person, Alan Turing. As far as this field of computer science is concerned, you have to be aware of this thing that there is no Nobel Prize. And the highest award that is given to any scientist every year for doing some remarkable work in the field of computer science, that is known as the Turing Award. He never coined the word artificial intelligence, but he was talking about the intelligent machines. And I think around in 1945, at that time, he proposed this thing that there will be a time when the machine will be able to play the game like chess, and he proposed the algorithm also at that time. He was a great mathematician, a great computer scientist, and hardly, I think, at the age of 42, he committed the suicide. And 9 years he spent in the prison also after Second World War. So you can see, in a span of 33 years only, he did so much so much work in the field of mathematics as well as the computer science. So one thing is, we are entering an era where human intelligence and AI are no longer separate. So what is going to be the next generation intelligence? We are generally trying to differentiate between this thing that this is the human intelligence and this is the artificial intelligence. No doubt the difference is there and one is imitating the other one. But in future we will be seeing this thing that they will be working in the collaboration. And why this is the case? So first thing is AI a disruption? So one thing is, you have to be familiar with this thing, what's the meaning of disruption or what's a disruptive technology. Okay. So one thing is that we can say artificial intelligence, it's a disruption, right? So what is the meaning of disruption? It's to be very much clear. I'm going to get you a lot of detail about this thing. And the very simple example is, from the company you can say Kodak, and from Beck, from Blockbuster, like this. Konica, there was a company Konica, I think around in 1990. As far as this photography is concerned, 90% share was there with Konica. They were in the field of this thing, making the reels of the camera, producing the cameras, paper, chemicals, etc. Right? 90% share of the market. And they were the inventor of the digital camera. Interesting thing is this, right? But one thing is, they invented this thing, but they didn't do the development in that field. The reason is, they don't want to be the cannibalism. Okay, in the business world, we are using the word cannibalism for a particular purpose, but as far as the biology is concerned, cannibalism means if a man is eating a man. Okay, man eater, right? And cannibalism means if you are having a business and you are creating a product which is killing your existing product. Okay, so they were saying this thing that we are having the 90% share in the market as far as this particular type of camera and the reads are there. And if we will be producing the digital camera, it will be killing our existing product, so we won't have to move in this direction. Okay, so they stopped working in that direction, and ultimately you are seeing this thing that now the Konica is not there in the market. Okay, so thing is, now we are seeing the disruption. This is the digital camera. Generally, whenever you are having a product, you are launching a product, it's becoming a popular, it's a S-shaped curve. The things are moving like this. Okay, so it's growing, and then there will be a plateau like this, right? And this is the time when you will have to start thinking about something new. And if you are not thinking, then someone else will be thinking, who is starting from this point and moving like this. And at this point, he will be overtaking. Right? Monica committed this mistake. Facebook, they didn't. When they identified this thing that this Instagram is there and Instagram offered this thing, you please acquire us, they don't take a second thought and acquire the Instagram. Right? But Blockbuster committed the mistake. There was a time when 9,000 stores were there of the Blockbuster in the world. Blockbuster, this was a company which was in the business of this video cassettes on rental basis. And then the company Netflix was there. They were offering this thing that we will be going for the live streaming. And they offered this thing to the Blockbuster that you please acquire us. But they missed this idea. Right? Now you are seeing this thing that there is not even a single store of Blockbuster in the market, and the total business has been acquired by the Netflix. Okay. So thing is AI a disruption? Disruption means if there is some existing technology and there is some new technology in the same field, but it's replacing the existing one altogether. We have seen this thing a lot of times, number of times. आपने अगर कभी पहले एक मूवी देखी हो, बहुत पहले आई थी, नया दौर, दिलीप कुमार की थी, right? In that movie, they were talking about a disruptive technology. गांव के लोग थे, तांगा चलाते थे, right? Villain आया, प्रेम चोपड़ा, with a concept that I will be using the bus, right? So one technology was the bullet cars and the tanga, and the disruptive technology was the bus, right? No doubt in the picture it was shown because the hero was Dilip Kumar and he was having the bullet card. एक रेस में बैलगाड़ी जीत जाती है, बस हार जाती है, अल्टीमेटली बस को छोड़ना पड़ता है मार्केट. But reality में we are seeing this thing in nowhere in the cities tangas are there. The disruptive technology, the bus has come and it replaced the existing one. सोचना पड़ता है जब भी नई टेक्नोलॉजी आती है. Nowadays a lot of debate is there कि AI यूज करनी चाहिए या नहीं करनी चाहिए, एथिकल है, अनएथिकल है, कैसे कंट्रोल करें. कितना ही सोचते रहो, you cannot control it. बसेस के बारे में बहुत कोशिश की उन्होंने. हमारे जो बड़े थे वो हमें कहते थे कि डोंट यूज कैलकुलेटर्स, हाथ से कैलकुलेशन करनी चाहिए, राइट? बट टेक्नोलॉजी ने उनको भी डिफीट किया. एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू दिस थिंग दैट इन फ्यूचर एआई विल कम, यू कैन नॉट कंट्रोल इट, वेदर इट इज एथिकल अनएथिकल, अपने आप मार्केट इसको सेटल कर लेगा. So basically, AI, it should not be viewed simply as an automation. Rather, it represents augmentation where human intelligence is enhanced by machine capabilities, leading to the superior outcomes. Okay, so thing is, don't think that it's a replacement. It's a disruption, but ये disruption उस तरह की नहीं है जैसे past में हमने देखी. Blockbuster was replaced by Netflix, and old cameras were replaced by the digital cameras. Right? Now there is a human intelligence, there is an artificial intelligence. It's a disruptive technology, but now it's not going to replace the existing one. Okay? If I am going to see it like this, that this is going to be total automation, the total automation means that earlier this job was carried out by the human being, now 100% this will be carried out by the man. So I am saying this is the complete automation. No, AI is not going to be successful in this matter. Okay, it will be successful when there will be the augmentation of the human intelligence with the artificial intelligence, and I have the point for this. So basically, one thing is that there is always an innovator's dilemma, right? I am going to show you one particular point. Just focus here. I think I am going to be audible. This is some existing technology, and I told you there is an S-shaped curve. An S-shaped curve is like this. It's a performance measure. Say it can be said, and it's going like this. Okay. And now here is going to be a plateau. इसके बाद ये फ्लो नहीं करेगा, right? But at that time, there is a need of some new technology. Okay. So when you are with this company and your product is here, and you know, maybe sometimes you may know this thing, that there is a technology like here, you are not going to adopt it. The reason is, if it will be adopted by you, it will be killing your this product. This is the innovator's dilemma, right?
This is the
problem
current situation, sir. Current situation. dilemma zone में रह रहे हो अभी सब.
the problem is this. The reason is, it's a very interesting thing. हम हर वो काम करते हैं जो हमें करना चाहिए और उससे हम ग्रो करते हैं. And the time will be there कि वो काम आपको किल कर देता है. For example, suppose I have a company like an Apple. The product is mobile. So version 14 is there, then 15 is there, then 16 is there. Say if the version 15 is there, what should I do as an Apple company? I will have to go to the customer, do the survey. What's your requirements? What should I do in this thing? And then improve this particular mobile. So I will come with 17, and I will come with 18, and I will come with 19. Okay. तो ये काम तो नोकिया भी कर रहा था. उसके एक से एक बेटर वर्जन आ रहे थे. पर ये जो टच स्क्रीन का जो मॉडल था, वो उन्होंने अडॉप्ट किया. इट वाज ए डिसरप्शन, और इसने जो कीपैड था उसको एकदम खत्म कर दिया. ओके, जब तक उन्होंने रियलाइज किया, तब तक दूसरी कंपनी मार्केट को टेक ओवर कर चुकी. ओके, तो सॉल्यूशन इज वेरी सिंपल. One thing is work like Facebook. If some disruption is coming, purchase it, acquire it. Okay. And another thing is, go for this type of thing. Create another company and ask it to produce a product which will be killing your product. Go for the cannibalism. Otherwise, there is no one solution. So if we are seeing this thing, अभी हम बहुत से recent document देखते हैं कि 50s में ये होगा, 60s में ये होगा, AI. अरे AI आज है, 50s में क्या पता AI ना हो, कोई और टेक्नोलॉजी आ जाए. Okay, so you cannot think like this, because when AI will be growing like this, the time will be there, then there is an S-shaped curve. It will be on a plateau, और जब ये plateau पर है तो नीचे कोई ना कोई टेक्नोलॉजी ग्रो कर रही होगी. This is the real life data of the S-shaped curve from the Blockbuster and the Netflix. This is the sale of the Blockbuster coming down like this, and at this point the Netflix was growing and then moving like this. Okay, so this is simple an example to prove this thing.
Next career slide.
So basically this thing I have already discussed. S-shaped curve, right? Even mobiles may be, I think we have reached here. Okay, and I understand जो next मोबाइल से अगले 5-10 साल में वो ऐसे नहीं होंगे जैसे आप देख रहे हैं. या हो सकता है मोबाइल ना हो, there may be some other method of communication.
Slide आगे कर.
And here we are seeing the difference between the automation and the augmentation. In case of automation, there's a human being and it is replaced by the machine. But in case of augmentation, it's a human being and this is a machine, and they will be working in the parallel. Next please. Now, I will be answering a number of questions which have been asked earlier. Okay, frequently a question आया कि if some AI is creating some problem or committing some mistake, then who is going to be responsible for that? Okay, so the thing is, when you are going for AI automation, end-to-end task delegation. For example, I am saying this thing, I want this product, and I am asking the AI to generate it, 100%. So there is no augmentation, no human involvement, right? The efficiency loss is minus 18%. The reason is a lot of overhead will be there in the verification. Okay, you have generated a product using AI, right? But thing is, then you will have to verify it. Sometimes I write this thing, I ask some machine, this chat GPT, okay, write a research paper for me. Okay, मिला मेरे को research paper, references भी मिले. I started checking the references and then I realized this thing that those references doesn't exist at all. It has created it. Okay. Its meaning is कि जितना मेरा efforts लगे थे उससे ज़्यादा efforts मेरे लगे उस चीज को check करने में. So my productivity is decreasing. Okay. But if I am going for augmentation, then there can be plus 24% efficiency in human-led and AI is used as an assistant only. Right? So thing is, who is going to be responsible if some mistake is committed by AI? You will be responsible for that because you are using AI, you have generated this product. Right? And in that case, you will have to do a lot of verification. But when you are using the augmentation, it will be saving your efforts. So it's just like this. We won't have to any fear. Look, कंप्यूटर आए तो fear था जॉब खत्म हो जाएगी, राइट? नहीं खत्म हुई क्योंकि वो डिस्ट्रप्शन था, बट ऑगमेंटेशन था. कैलकुलेटर्स आए तो ये सोचा गया, बट वो भी ऑगमेंटेशन था. एआई है, मेरे को ये लगता है कि दिस इज आल्सो गोइंग टू बी एन ऑगमेंटेशन. इट्स नॉट एन ऑटोमेशन, इट्स नॉट अ टोटल डिस्ट्रप्शन. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. Take away. Already, Mr. Rath has said this thing. It's not going to replace human. No doubt, humans with AI will replace human without AI. Okay. Its meaning is that all of us have to learn this. But there is one very important aspect. One thing is, creator of the AI and another is the user of AI. In India, we are seeing this thing that maximum of us are making the use of Llama, Gemini, ChatGPT. Okay, but right now, up to this point, AI is not having any such product like ChatGPT or Gemini like this. Okay, so there was one saying, I don't know who quoted it, but it's very true. If you are not paying for a product, then you are the product. Okay. So if I am making the use of ChatGPT, I am making the use of Gemini, I am not paying for this thing. Its meaning is I am not paying for this product. So no doubt I am going to be the product. Okay. And we are missing one thing every time, that data is very important thing. हम जितना ज़्यादा इसको use करते हैं, इसको data provide कर रहे हैं. Okay. So they are going to be benefited from this thing. To use Gemini, ChatGPT, it's very good. Everybody will have to learn this thing, but we will have to create another segment also who will be in the field of the development of the AI models. Next, please. So, key takeaway is AI, it first disrupts, then augments, and only later delivers measurable productivity gains. This delay creates the productivity paradox. Okay. तो जो productivity शुरू में कम आ रही है उसका reason यही है कि at the initial level there is a disruption, then there will be an augmentation, और उसके बाद फिर ये deliver करना शुरू करें. So with this, thank you very much for getting me. If you have any query.
Thank you so much, sir. If anyone has any query, they may ask.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is, what do you think we can protect human originality as the AI tools became more powerful, they became more efficient rather than human?
How to protect the human originality?
Yes.
What is it? What's the meaning of originality? अगर मेरे को लगता है कि आज जो मैं हूँ वो ओरिजिनल है और एआई को यूज करने के बाद मैं ऐसा नहीं रहूंगा, वो ओरिजिनल नहीं हो, मेरे को लगता है कि तब मैं ओरिजिनल होगा। ओके, ये टोटल रिलेटिव है। फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे एथिक्स ही है, ये पैसा लगाते हैं मार्केट में, सट्टा खेलते हैं, इंडिया में इलीगल है, इंग्लैंड में लीगल है। ओके, इट्स सिंपल पर्सपेक्टिव, इट्स नथिंग रियल, एवरीथिंग इज सोशली कंस्ट्रक्टेड। ओके, इट्स अ सोशल कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ रियलिटी। बाद में हम एआई यूज करेंगे, वैसे हो जाएंगे, अच्छा है, ठीक है। ओवर द टाइम वी विल हैव टू ग्रो। आज से 1000 साल पहले भी ह्यूमन बीइंग देखने में ऐसी नहीं थी, वो ओरिजिनलिटी चेंज हो गई, ये ओरिजिनलिटी भी फ्यूचर में चेंज हो जाएगी।
थैंक यू।
If anyone has any query, they can ask.
एक ओरिजिनलिटी को थोड़ा सा मैं बताना चाहूंगा। मैंने एक बार ना बहुत पहले एक बुक पढ़ी थी, द चोजन, राइट, एंड इट वाज अबाउट द सोशल कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ रियलिटी। उसमें उन्होंने बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग वे में ये लिखा था कि हमारी जो एडमिशन प्रोसेस है, ये हम टेस्ट कंडक्ट करते हैं, जो टॉपर होता है उसको एडमिशन दिया जाता है, जो फेल हो जाता है उसको एडमिशन नहीं मिलता, मेरिट के इतने नंबर, स्पोर्ट्स के इतने नंबर, को करिकुलर के इतने नंबर, और हमें लगता है ऐसा ही होना चाहिए। ये हमें ऐसा लगता है बिकॉज़ वी हैव बीन मेड टू थिंक लाइक दिस। ओके, इसके रूट में एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी थी। ये स्टोरी शुरू होती है हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी से। ओके, अर्लियर दे वर कंडक्टिंग ओनली द टेस्ट एंड टॉपर वाज गिवन द एडमिशन। सेकंड वर्ल्ड वॉर शुरू होता है, the Jews थे जो आजकल इजराइल में, they started moving to US. It was a business class, very intelligent, very first year 55% admitted in the Harvard University were Jews. Okay, सारे टेस्ट पास करके वो आ गए। They realized this thing that it's going to totally disrupt our framework. Okay, so they decided this thing how to stop it. Okay, so finally they come with a criteria कि इतने नंबर टेस्ट के, इतने नंबर को करिकुलर के, इतने नंबर इस चीज के कि आपके फादर भी इस यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़े थे, राइट। So ultimately they have identified a criteria using which they were able to prevent the admission of the Jews, and धीमे धीमे वो सारा पॉपुलर हो गया पूरी दुनिया में। So you are saying this thing कि जो चीज बनाई गई थी to stop someone from getting the admission has been made the criteria for admission everywhere. Okay, this was not the criteria for selection, this was the criteria for elimination. Okay, so thing is कि अब हमें ये ठीक लगता है, reason is कि we have been trained like this. Okay, वो जो original हमें लगता है कि हम ऐसे हैं क्योंकि वो ट्रेन किया गया है। Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable and inspiration words with us. As sir explained, AI is no longer just a concept of science fiction. So, I request our session chair to kindly conclude their remarks. Please, sir.
Thank you. First of all, we both would like to thank organizers for inviting us. And Dr. Rakesh sir has already concluded about AI disruption. I think nobody should have any question or any doubt or any fear regarding AI. So it is very difficult for me to conclude a conclusion. But being a teacher, I will say something. As sir has rightly said, that we should not get carried away with the term like AI disruption, because there were many times during which competition was there, not due to AI, but those companies are not nowadays. So, sir has given examples of various companies. Being a student of electronics, I have some examples like earlier in 1940s there were vacuum tubes, And with the invention of transistor, those vacuum tube devices got obsolete. And with the invention of ICs, CPUs, and now you can see GPUs, this AI is possible or computing is possible. So I would say always there is survival of the fittest. So whoever is fit will survive in the market. And in the previous session, one student was saying that if we ask a silly question from AI, then what will happen? According to me, no question is silly question because earlier an apple fell from tree and somebody thought or somebody asked why it is falling. So due to which we got the concept of gravity. So we should always think questions and others should not worry about whether it is silly or not. So again, I am thankful to the organizers. I am thankful to our gurus who are sitting over here for giving us chance to share the dice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now I request our respected session chairs, Dr. Puneet Banchal and Dr. Sunil Dhingra, to present a token of appreciation to our chief guest, Mr. Rakesh Kumar.
Please give a huge round of applause.
I also request HOD of Mechanical Engineering, Mr. Sunil, with Ms. Nidhi, please come on the stage and present a token of appreciation to our session chair. Head of the management, Ms. Poonam Rani, please come on the stage and present a token of appreciation to our session chair.
Thank you so much, sir.
It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Gravita Jain, a passionate and dedicated computer science engineering student specialized in artificial intelligence and machine learning from UIET Kurukshetra. She is deeply interested in emerging technology and is constantly exploring how AI can use to create meaningful and real-world impact. With a strong passion for innovation and learning, Ms. Gravita Jain represents the spirit of curiosity and growth that drive the future of technology.
Today, she joined us with great passion to learn, share her insights, and expand her knowledge in the field of artificial intelligence. Please, ma'am.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Today, we are gathered to explore AI as a next generation intelligence that is shaping innovations across disciplines. But what if I tell you that you have already interacted with AI at least 10 times today without even realizing it? Think about it. Your Instagram feed, AI. Your YouTube recommendations, AI. The spam alert messages that you get while performing transactions are AI too. Answer me honestly, how many of you have used Google Maps to reach here today? That is AI making decisions for you. Hi, my name is Garvita and I'm a second year CSE AI student at UIET Kurukshetra University. It is my honor to present in front of you on the topic Artificial Intelligence and digital transformations, redefining business strategies and decision making in this data driven era. My research is positioned under the track AI for Business, Management and Decision Sciences, where I explore how AI is no longer just a supporting technology, but has evolved into a strategic force driving organizations, business innovations, data driven decision making. At the same time, the study also critically examines important challenges such as algorithmic bias, privacy concerns, ethical governance, and implementation barriers. Let us now explore. As AI is proliferating at such a trailblazing pace, concerns may arise as to why do we really need it. In competitive economy like today, where startup culture is booming, India is the third largest startup capital of the world. Businesses generate enormous volumes of both structured as well as unstructured data every second. Traditional management systems are unable to analyze this complexity with sufficient speed. However, this is where AI becomes transformative. ML models can process millions of patterns simultaneously and convert raw business data into actionable insights. Because raw data alone has very little value, but when converted into an actionable insight, it can be proved to be very powerful. We can say that AI is the alchemist of the digital age, as it transforms data chaos into powerful insight. Organizations that ignore AI in decision making risk falling behind in both accuracy as well as speed. You might think if AI is already everywhere, then why are businesses still struggling to use it so effectively? It is because using AI without strategy is like using a smartphone just to make calls. In order to have an effective strategy, the objectives must be very clear. The major objectives of my research are first, to study how AI systems can be practically deployed inside business operations. Second, to analyze how ML can improve forecasting and decision quality. Third, to understand how AI supports managers in risk evaluations. Fourth, to examine strategic transformations across industries. And finally, to identify ethical, technical, and organizational barriers. Think about it. What if there was a learning platform that would exactly know when you are getting bored and change the way it teaches you instantly? Sounds futuristic, right? Well, it's not. It's already happening. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, Khan Academy, Byju's are already using AI to increase the student engagement at a very large scale. These platforms track how long you watch a video, when you play pause, replay, or skip, which questions excite you, when your attention drops, and then AI adjusts the content in real time. It recommends more interactive material. It keeps you engaged and not just enrolled. So learning becomes more adaptive, dynamic, and personalized. It's like a teacher who can see your eyes drifting away and instantly changes the teaching pattern to just pull you back into the matter. If AI can keep millions of students engaged, then why can't businesses keep the users hooked onto the apps, increase customer interaction, and improve decision making based on real behaviors? At some point, you might have thought that your phone is reading your mind. We all think about it. How many of you saw an ad about something that you were just thinking about? That is not magic. That is actually AI that is analyzing patterns faster than your brain. Let us go department by department and see where AI has some real world application. In the marketing management, AI recommend engines on browsing behavior, previous purchases, time spent on products. This powers personalized suggestions like Amazon and Netflix, giving us a key business value of higher engagement, higher the conversion rates. In the financial management systems, bank use anomaly detection. If any unusual spending occurs, fraud alerts are triggered. The supply chain management, AI can actually predict the delivery delays based on weather, traffic, and supply reliability and helps us to plan smarter logistics. Who knows about the 4 P's of startup here? Anyone? The 4 P's of startup. They are product, place, promotion, and price. AI can help you with each one of them. AI can give you the idea on what product to make, helps you analyze what is the correct price for it, give you the place to post it, as well as help with the promotion by analyzing your customers and segmenting them based on their choice. Then what is stopping you? Have your startup within 10 minutes with the help of AI. But when AI makes decision, ethics are a part of the job and not just an idea. Good use of AI needs to be very clear that covers bias in decisions, privacy concerns, because businesses might ask how much monitoring is actually ethical. Responsible AI requires to have fairness audits, explainable algorithms, and transparent decision making. The implementation of AI also brings operational challenges such as high infrastructure costs, integration difficulties, workforce concerns, and over-dependency risks. Managers must avoid blindly falling on AI. Human judgment remains very essential because the challenge is not adopting AI, but adopting it very responsibly. Because AI can optimize decisions, but it cannot replace accountability. So, as the esteemed speakers before me have already said, will AI replace humans? Short answer would be no. But a better answer would be that AI will redefine humans. AI is great at speed, it's great at patterns, it is great at predictions, but humans are great at ethics, creativity, and leadership. AI is the engine, but humans are the driver. Together, they don't just move fast, but they move smart. The strongest business model is collaborative intelligence, where AI can handle the pattern recognition, the forecasting, and the optimization, but humans can handle the ethics, the leadership, and the negotiation. In the future, companies will move from AI help systems to AI built systems, where smart tools will take part in daily work and plan their work. Decision making will move from what went wrong behind to predicting what may happen next. We may say that AI is doing managerial business what industrial revolution did for manufacturing. Organizations who responsibly embed AI into their decisions today will define as well as lead the economy tomorrow. Because the real power of AI was never in the tool. It was always there on how you choose to use it. At last, all I would like to say is that AI is not the future. It is already shaping your choices today. The only question is, are you in control of it or are you quietly letting it control you? As this very popular saying that if you're not on the table, then you're on the menu. I want to being a student myself, I want to motivate or inspire you all to use AI to build something of your own, to have a vision. Vision should be always yours. AI can just help you support it, grow it, and to make something productive out of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mike, for your inspiring and valuable words. Now, we will take a break for lunch. Lunch has been arranged for all VIPs, resource persons, faculty members, and dear students. We will meet again at 2:40 p.m. to further continue the program. Thank you.